Hi fellow traders, I'm back to do a recap video for you today. Um, I'm in one of the stupidest trades that I've taken in a while. MDCO, I was anticipating the VWAP breakdown here. After we tested it, it did hold. I thought we were going to get the fade because we couldn't get back over this 38.24 level. So I went ahead and took it, and that's the trade that you see going on now. I went ahead and put a hard stop in, so in case it pops on me while I'm talking and doing this video, it will take me out at where I want it to stop out at, which is just above the 20 moving average. The trade is based on this 38.24 level, which is this level right here. This held for support for a long time. It finally cracked it. Now it's holding as resistance. And, obviously I was expecting it to throw this back below the VWAP and we get a nice fade to 37.48. The longer this sits here, the worse chance it has of actually doing that. So, done with that. This was the first trade I took on MDCO. This was a nice rejection, nice reversal of this 38.90 level up here. I took it, it tested it and pulled back, so I did grab it a little bit early, but I was going off the 2-minute chart. So, once this set in, once this reversed or rejected it, I took a look at the 2-minute and waited till I saw this. Let me see if I can get it back to where I took it. Yeah, right here. Once I saw this, I just went ahead and got in, and it looked like it was rolling over. I got in risking off of this level, so I had a nice tight stop, and it was well worth the reward. My first target was right here at the 9 moving average, so that worked out pretty good. Other trades I took today, let me see. Let me bring up the closed position P&L. All right, let's just look at HOG. This was a trade. It just didn't follow through the way it should have. I took it here off the rejection of this level here at 54. Well, actually, this is 54.22, but I took it off the 54 rejection, and we got the move down. But it didn't quite get to the 9 moving average, so I went ahead and covered it here. Eventually, we did get a little flush down to this level here, this 53.76 level, but wasn't a negative trade. I did make 14 bucks on it. Not a big deal, but it's not red, so I'm happy with that. Next trade, we looked at MDCO. Okay, let's look at PTCT, and this is the one that I demonstrated gross overtrading on, because I wanted you to see, and this was intentional, because if you know me, you know my trading style is not to have 21 tickets, which is like 11 day trades in one day. It's just not my style. So if you see this, okay, the first trade I took was a loss. I was looking for the short here under this. This was kind of an open range breakdown. I got in, but it went back up and stopped me out. Now you have to make sure you respect your stop levels. Now this was a tight stop for me, so I'm respecting these tight levels. So I stopped out here at 10 cents and reset, because I knew that this thing might retest. I didn't want to hold it in case it popped back up like this. So I went ahead and got it on the fail push of this level and the 9, and got it just before it got down to the 750 level. I wanted to get there, but it just looked like it was having trouble, so I went ahead and took it there and then got back in for the move down to this level. So I broke this up in 2 trades. Here's another trade from this level down, and this level. I got it here. I thought it was retesting, but this was just a quick trade. I saw the price action. I didn't like what I saw, and you can see it just traded sideways after I got out, which is, really what I was looking for. But here I went long, looking for the bounce. I got out here, and it just kept going. You can see I took a lot of trades on this PTCT. I made $135. I did lose a lot, but you can see realized gain so far is 220 bucks. And look at the commissions. I've lost half of my gains on commissions just based on how much I took. My net P&L today is 87.86. Once I deal with this other trade, that's going to be a little bit better. So let me go back and see what's happening on MDCO. Oh, we got a little bit of movement down here. Let's see. My average price is 38.21. So the least I want to see, it doesn't make sense for me to jump in to take it off unless I get at least 10 cents out of this. So I'm looking for at least 38.11. If I see 38.11 print on the ask, then I'm going to click it. That's what I'm looking for. So I may make a little bit more today. But the key is I wanted you to see what the commissions are. If you trade 10 or 11 times in a day, look at the commissions that you pay. $103.95 for commissions, and then these are the ECN fees. This is 26, 27, 28. So that's $131 in commissions. And this is why you don't want to overtrade, especially when you are trading with Suretrader. You have to be cognizant of the fees. And this is why I feel you can make money at Suretrader, no problem. But you have to be aware of the fees, and you have to plan your trading around getting around those fees. I mean, that's what you have to do. There's no way around that. If not, the fees are going to blow you up, and you're going to be dead in the water. So that's all I have for right now. I'm going to let this continue to run, but you're not going to hear anything. I'm going to turn the mic off. And if there's something that I need to come back and say, I'll come back and get on. But right now, I'm just going to let this run, and, we'll see what happens with this trade. I just realized I accidentally hit the streaming button as well as the recording. So evidently I'm live on Ticker TV, but I'm not actually on Ticker TV. So if you send me a message, I'm not going to see it. But I'm just going to let it keep running to see. Either I'm going to get stopped out of this trade, or we're going to get a dip or a quick dip below VWAP so I can cover this for a little bit of profit. The trade isn't working out the way I had anticipated. I was looking for a quicker move down or a quicker flush, a loss of VWAP. But if you look at the market, you see the market's trading sideways. Um, the SPY is holding VWAP, so there's no indication that this is going to lose VWAP either. But I based this trade off of the 38.24 support here, this technical level. So as long as it's below this, my trade plan is still in play. But like I said, if it gets down to 38.10, 38.11, and it starts bouncing around, then I will click it. 20 cents is the minimum that I'm going to take on this. If not, it doesn't matter whether I get stopped out or not. So I'm just going to keep it running and just going to keep watching it. I do have to leave in about 20 minutes, so I may close it then, because this really isn't worth me watching while I'm trying to drive down the road to pick my kids up. Now, if you notice, you see I don't have my unrealized gains up. I don't really look at that at all. The only reason I have the realized gains up and my commissions and all of that is just because I do these videos and I'm showing you. But what I normally do is I don't even have any of this up. When I'm trading, I don't care what, as long as I hit my marks, I know at the end of the day I'm going to make money. So no big deal there. So all I'm focusing on is trading for skill. And I'll probably say this until you're tired of hearing it. But if you trade for skill, if you look at hitting your marks, hitting your entries and nailing your exits, the money's going to be there when you look in your account at the end of the day. If you stick to your plan and you trade, skillfully, you're going to be pleasantly surprised when you, at the end of the day, and you go and you look in your gains. Because if you stuck to your plan, you're going to be happy. This thing is trying. It is trying to lose it. Hoping, I was expecting maybe the 3 o'clock flush, Maybe it won't be until the 330 flush when everybody has to cover their positions in Suretrader. So it may be waiting for that. We'll see. I'm going to go ahead and kill this stop because I'm going to stop out regardless if this thing goes anywhere. So we're going to sit here and see what happens with this. All right, we're stuck. Here we go. Come on down. We're right on VWAP now. Let's see what we can do. Can we lose it? I mean, I only have time to give it this one chance to lose VWAP. Again, the way I do this, I mark it out. You see, I'm only in 300 shares. So when I mark it out, I wait for the price I want to get out at hits the ask side, and when it hits, I just click buy, and it markets out. As long as we continue to have these big orders here at this price, and I want to get out at 38.08, I can get out real quickly. But this is still looking good. You know, we may get a move down close to 38. So I'm going to keep this on watch. And I believe if it hits 38, you know, because my time is short, I may go ahead and take it off. I would be looking for more. You know, obviously, the move I wanted was down here to 37.48, 37.50 level, but, you know, my timing is not here. You know, I have to, 3:30 is the latest I can leave to go pick my son up. So I will hold it out till 3:30 as long as it sits here, but if it starts to run back up, then I'm going to have to click it. So that's what we're going to be looking for, you know, here in the next few. Uh, 38.06. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and I don't have time to let this work. I really don't. And it's bad when you get in these positions because, you know, if you don't have the patience and you don't have time to sit here and work through this, then it makes you make bad decisions. And then you feel bad later on if you have to leave and come back and then the trade actually did what you wanted it to do. But, yeah, I'm going to take it off. So I'm out. I'm done. This is my day. Let me look at the trade. You know, and it may continue to fade, but I just can't. I'm not in a position to where I can trade it and work it. Like I said, I'm not going to drive down the road trying to manage that trade. And this is where I end up today because this is going to be it for me. MDCO, we did get $156 on it. PTCT, I got 135. But if you see the way I traded it, all of these trades I took on PTCT, you know, I should have been up well over 200 bucks. But because I broke it up and I overtraded, you see how much I got in commissions. 27, 28, 65. Let's say that's 29. And that's 120. That's about $140, if not in commissions. So, you know, this is why when you're trading with Suretrader, you do not want to overtrade. You don't. You want to try to keep this below 10 tickets a day. If you nail your marks and you stop getting out too early, and you know, and I'm gonna just to recap this. This is what I meant. You see how this was a stop out because I got in expecting the loss of this, but it turned around and it stopped me out. So I waited for the test and got back in on the failed test. And instead of holding this till we got here, I took it off and decided I'll take it off here so I can book this profit. Then I got back in. So I took one move and made 2 trades out of it. So that's double commissions. Here's another one. It came down. This one, watching the price action, this was a smart cover here. So, there's no big deal on that. And, here, I just broke this up. And I probably spent well over $100, at least $100 total in commissions just on this PTCT trade. But the last trade, I didn't get to go over it. STJ, and it looks like my MDCO trade is finally starting to work. That sucks, but hey, that's the way it is. This, I was taking it for opening range breakout, and I did get in a little bit early. I should have waited, but let me go back so you can see. Now, I did get in a little bit early, and I didn't really wait for a solid confirmation. We were over VWAP, so I felt pretty good about it. But then this stupid Muddy Waters, we retweeted some bad news, and the tweet came out in here, and it kind of held up, and then all of a sudden it sold off, and I got stopped out. And then it turned around and made the move, but I didn't get back in it because I didn't know how more manipulated it was going to be with that tweet. So, I didn't reset and get back in this off this level like I could have. But this was my day. Let me see, how much did I make today? Okay, net P&L 126.91. So I did make my daily goal again today. Like I said, I don't look at it daily. I look at it at the end of the week. But just for the sake of reference and this video, showing all of this. So my current equity at this point is $29.94. We're almost at 3K. I think this is going to be before the commissions are taken out. So it's probably not going to be that high. It's probably going to be around 28 something once the commissions come out. All right, but that's it for me today. Hope everybody has a great night, a great evening, and we will get right back at it again tomorrow morning.